Hey guys, welcome to Melinda TV. Today I'm talking about nut and seed butters, some of the nutritional benefits of adding them to your diet, followed by a little bit of a taste testing. And then if you stick around until the very end of the video, I'm also going to be talking about a sweepstakes that I'm holding, and everybody likes free stuff, right? So stick around until then. I apologize for the frumpy appearance today. I thought about doing my hair and makeup for this video, and then I didn't. So I think it's a miracle that I even took off my glasses and put in my contacts for this video, and the only reason why I did that is because there was a glare. But the important thing is not how I look. Crazy as it may be, the important thing is the butters that I'm trying today. Some of them you might have heard of, some of them you might not have heard of, some of them I hadn't heard of until I saw them on the shelf. So I'm going to be sampling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different kinds of butters and kind of talking about the benefits of the ones that are good for you, and then how the ones that aren't so good for you are kind of like a health trap. So let's get started. So if I was doing my shopping for these based on what was actually healthy, I would have read the labels and made sure that the only ingredients in each of these were just the nut, being the nut or the seed that is the namesake of the butter, and salt. Because there are a lot of additives that they put in these butters to make them sweeter and whatnot, and that's not necessarily what you want. So if I was doing the shopping for myself, I would have been looking for that, but for the sake of teaching a lesson, I kind of just grabbed what was available, just to show you how easy it is to get tricked into buying something that you might think is good for you, but isn't necessarily good for you. So the first butter is cashew butter. Legit did not even know that cashew butter was a thing that was made, but it is. The brand that I have here is Sam's Choice, which is just the only brand of cashew butter that was at Walmart when I went. Now, why is cashew butter good for you? Because it has lower fat than some other butter choices, and it has a really high amount of monounsaturated fatty acids, which are very good for you to regulate your blood pressure and your cholesterol levels. And you'll find out that a lot of these nut and seed butters are high in those monounsaturated fatty acids, which it has fat in it, and you're like, wait, is that a good thing? And it's a good fat. Cashew butter is also high in copper, which helps the body process iron. And you can use cashew butter in like sauces, curries, sorbets, baked goods, all that jazz. Now this cashew butter has 4 grams of protein per serving. But here's the thing, the ingredients are cashews, safflower oil, cane sugar, palm oil, and sea salt. Cane sugar was added to this to sweeten it up. That's not really something that you want. Ideally, the only ingredients in cashew butter would be cashews and salt. But let's give it a taste. Oh, I was really expecting that to make that sound. That's disappointing. Cashew butter. Whoa. It really tastes just like cashews, but someone did all the chewing for me. It's great. It's got the same consistency as creamy peanut butter. It's so sweet. This next one is not considered a health food. It is not considered a high protein butter. I am not recommending that you add it to your diet to be healthier, I will, however, recommend you add it to your diet to be happier because it is Biscoff cookie butter. Who knew that this was a thing? I mean, I love Biscoff cookies. They're like crack. But now you're telling me that there's Biscoff cookie butter? And, I mean, it has cookie in the title. We know that it's not going to be as healthy as almond butter or cashew butter. We know without reading the label, this isn't going to be good for you. But I included it on this video today because it is right on the shelf next to all of those superfood butters. So just goes to show how easy it is to be tricked. You go to your butters aisle and you get your cashew butter and your almond butter and your peanut butter, and this is right there on the shelf right next to them. You grab it and you think you're eating something good, and it's interchangeable with all these other butters for your protein and for your healthy fats, and it's not. It's a lot of sugar. This cashew butter that I just tried had 3 grams of sugars and 1 gram of added sugars per serving. This one serving, same size, has 11 grams of sugar, of which 11 are added sugars. That's really not good for you. And it only has 1 gram of protein. But it's probably delicious because Biscoff cookies are delicious. So I'm going to try it anyway. See, the last one didn't have this annoying little foil on top. So bear with me. It smells like cookies. Am I going to get addicted to this thing that's really not that good for me? Okay. Let me just go ahead and put the lid right back on that. That is even better than I thought it was going to taste, and that's a problem. This is not good for you, but it's good for the soul. But it's not good for your body, but it's good for the soul. Just keep that in mind, okay? This next butter goes without introduction. It is probably the butter that we all know and love, peanut butter. And this one is actually a peanut butter that's good for you. Its only ingredients are peanuts and salt. It's separating, which is kind of how you can tell that it's good for you, because these butters naturally have a certain amount of separation because they're made of healthy oils and they're made of peanuts or nuts or seeds. So I feel like if it's separating, that means there's less garbage in there holding it together. So you just stir it a little bit before you eat it. So peanut butter is good for you because it's high in protein and potassium. This has 8 grams of protein per serving. The cashew butter had 4, so twice the amount of protein in a serving of peanut butter. And you can use peanut butter in just about every application. And a lot of these butters serve as substitutes for each other, but we all know that peanut butter is the OG. And this is just ShopRite brand peanut butter, but fortunately, peanut butter is the most mainstream type of nut butter. So you can definitely shop around and find one that's actually good for you. I hate to admit it, but some of the most well-known brands of peanut butter, I'm not going to put any on blast, but aren't necessarily that good for you. Like I said, when you're searching for a peanut butter, make sure it's high in protein, and the only ingredient should really be peanuts and maybe salt. So let me taste a little bit of this. I already know it's going to taste good because it's peanut butter. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. peanut butter tastes like peanut butter. And you can experiment with all of these butters, but this is the OG. So this is another one that we're not trying to fool anybody. It's not good for you. This one is a flavored hazelnut butter, but you might know it by its more popular name, Nutella. Now, full disclosure, I love this stuff. I eat it out of the jar with a spoon. I eat way more than I'm willing to admit. It's delicious. It's addictive. Why? Because it is cocoa flavored hazelnut butter. What? And this brand that makes it is still trying to pass it off like it's a breakfast food. Hold on. Nutella's delicious, but it's not good for you. There's only 2 grams of protein, lots of sugar, 21 grams, and, I mean, the ingredients, the first ingredient isn't even hazelnuts. The third ingredient is hazelnuts. What's the first ingredient? Sugar! Totally not good for you. But it's delicious, and it is on the shelf right next to those other butters that are good for you, so you grab it. It's advertised as a breakfast food. Oh, it's like a superfood. It's just as good for me as almond butter or peanut butter. It's not. It's delicious. It's not breakfast, Ferrero. It's not. It's dessert. So I'm about to make this some dessert. I love this stuff, for real. After complaining about how not good it is for you, I'm going to take a nice heaping So next to peanut butter, this next one might be the most popular nut butter around. And that, my friends, is almond butter. This is, again, Sam's Choice, just the cheapest one I saw at Walmart. Almond butter is becoming popular enough that you can go to the supermarket and find lots of different brands that sell it. And you can shop around for one that's actually good for you. Again, you want the ingredients to just be almonds and maybe salt. This one has a few more ingredients: almonds, cane sugar, palm oil, and sea salt, which is not as good for you as it should be. But generally speaking, almond butter is good for you because it has lots of calcium and magnesium, which are minerals that you might not be able to find as much of in these other butters. And it also can be substituted really easily. If you bake, you can use this instead of butter or oil in your baking. I also love the taste of almonds. It's my go-to nut for snacking, and I've replaced dairy milk with almond milk in my diet simply because I live alone and it takes longer to go bad. But I also just love the taste of almonds and almond butter and almond milk. So the fact that this has 6 grams of protein is great. And not a lot of sugar. Alright, so let's give it a taste. I don't think I've tried this specific brand of almond butter yet. I think I've only tried one of the better for you ones that really only had just almonds and salt. So I'm expecting this to be a little bit sweeter. So the funny thing with almond butter is it's not as sweet as peanut butter. It's not as sweet as cashew butter. It's a little bit more bitter, a little bit more earthy, and to me it doesn't taste a ton like almonds. Like if I was just eating it by itself and didn't know what it was, I'd be like, oh, this taste is familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And then you'd say, oh, it's almond butter. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, I see it. That's how almond butter tastes. Good news is almond butter works really well in a lot of places where peanut butter is used. I lived on almond butter. When I run a marathon, I put myself on a special meal plan for a month beforehand, and almond butter is one of the few fats I'm allowed to have. So for my first marathon, my meal plan coincided with me getting my wisdom teeth pulled. So I was basically living on smoothies and shakes for a week, and almond butter is how I sweetened those up. So I was able to consume food, but also not cheat on my meal plan because of almond butter. So it was my saving grace. We are now getting to the part of the video where we're at, what? Do they even make that? They do. The last two butters that I have to sample are seed butters. So you've heard of nut butters, peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, but now they make seed butters too. And the one that I have here is pumpkin seed butter. And let me tell you, when I saw this on the shelf at Costco, it was the first time I had even heard of pumpkin seed butter being a thing. But apparently, pumpkin seed butter is high in zinc, and zinc is really important for your immune function, your protein synthesis, your cellular metabolism, and unlike some other minerals, zinc, you need it. You need to intake it every day because it doesn't get stored by the body. So I guess that's why pumpkin butter is pretty cool, but also it's got 8 grams of protein, which is the most out of this bunch. It's tied with peanut butter for the most protein. This one probably isn't the best. The ingredients are pumpkin seeds, sunflower oil, powdered sugar, and sea salt, which, like I mentioned before, you really don't want added sugar in your nut and seed butters. So I'm sure there are better ones out there, but this is the giant jar that Costco offered. And one thing you'll find is that once you venture outside the realm of peanut butter, these nut and seed butters get pretty expensive. So I'm glad that Costco offered one. So the label itself actually recommends using it for toast or oatmeal or smoothies, which these are places that you would use peanut butter. So I think it's really cool how you can kind of switch things up. You know, maybe you don't like peanut butter. I don't know why you wouldn't unless you were allergic, but maybe you don't. Maybe you don't and you want to try a different butter. Or maybe one of these other butters that were mentioned have a higher mineral that you need than peanut butter. Oh, wow. This is really liquidy. It's like a real mess. I don't know why I smelled it, because I don't remember if pumpkin seeds even have a smell. Now that I'm trying to think about it, what do pumpkin seeds even taste like? Like, I know that I like roasted pumpkin seeds, like baked in the oven. But when else have I eaten pumpkin seeds? I haven't. And I can't really remember there being a very bold, memorable flavor or aroma. First of all, let's talk about the fact that this is green. You can't see it, but I feel like I have a jar of bile. It's green, it's runny. It's like the slime on Family Double Dare. Does anyone remember that show from Nickelodeon? That's what it looks like. All right. Let's give it a taste. Oh my god. It's like... Okay. I hope this is delicious because I have a Costco-sized jar of it. Okay. So it's a little bitter. It's earthy. Now I kind of remember what pumpkin seeds taste like. It's also got like a kind of like bittery sweet element of it. Kind of like peanut butter and jelly built into one. Like someone already included the jelly in here. Okay. As you can see, it's not as rich or as creamy as the other butters I've sampled today. It's a little bit runnier, and that was after me stirring it. Unlike the other things that I've eaten today, which I can imagine just eating right out of the jar with a spoon, I probably wouldn't eat this by itself. I would definitely mix it with something. But I can get down with it. Last but not least, we have sunflower seed butter, which again is something that I hadn't heard of until I saw it. This one I actually didn't buy. A friend gave this to me. He didn't like it, and I did, so he passed it on. But I didn't know sunflower seed butter was a thing. I love sunflower seeds. I think they taste good. Didn't know people made butter out of it. But apparently, sunflower seed butter is high in magnesium and zinc and copper and selenium. And it's a decent substitute for people who have peanut and tree nut allergies. You know, if you are allergic to peanut butter, you might want to try a seed butter instead because it's a pretty decent substitute. And you might want to use this in like dressings or sauces, granola bars. You might want to use it in your baked goods, but don't be fooled. This says organic and you're like, oh my god, it's so healthy, it's organic. But the ingredients are sunflower seeds, sugar, sunflower oil, and salt. So again, there's added sugar in here, which ideally you would be looking for one that didn't have that. But, side note, it does have 5 grams of protein, which is pretty high for a butter. As you saw with some of the other ones, we maxed out at 8. And then some of the other ones were like 4 or 5. Except for cookie butter, which doesn't really have any nutritional value. But, let's give this one a taste. And this one has separated, so that's a good sign. How you can tell it's natural, at least in my mind. I don't know if that's a thing. So I'm just going to give it a quick little stir, and it is admittedly not stirring very well. Okay, it's kind of chunky. I'm sorry, I made a face. It was because there was a sound. What? I don't know what's living. I don't want this much. But it's not behaving as well as some of the other butters. I just want a little. I don't want this much. I just want a little. Or whatever. It tastes really good. It's like all of the saltiness of sunflower seeds. It's not very sweet. It does have a bitter aftertaste. Just like the pumpkin butter, I can't imagine myself grabbing a spoon and eating this right out of the jar, like I can for some of the others. But I would definitely use this maybe in my oatmeal or on toast something. Yeah, not bad. So here's the verdict. After the 7 nut and seed butters that I've tried today, there are 5 that are realistically good for you. This one, the cookie butter, and this one, flavored hazelnut butter, not good for you. The other 5 do have lots of minerals, lots of protein, lots of healthy fats, and are worth incorporating into your diet. Some of them are sweet enough to just eat by themselves out of the jar. Don't overdo it though. The serving size on all of these is only 2 tablespoons. And then some of them you might want to incorporate into other things like putting it on your toast or in your oatmeal or in your smoothies or baking with it or cooking with it. So that's peanut butter, cashew butter, almond butter, pumpkin seed butter, sunflower seed butter. All pretty good choices, but my advice is to read the label, see how much added sugar is in them, and if you can avoid that and find a brand that makes it without that added sugar, then that's really what you should be aiming for. If I had to choose by nutritional value, I would say the best one here is... I don't want to choose. I still have to go with peanut butter. For my purposes, it does have the most protein and one of the lower fat contents. If we're going just by taste, I'm sorry, cookie butter is like not even good for you, but it tastes so good. So my advice with this is take out the amount you're going to eat, close the jar, put the jar far away from you, lock the jar in a safe, don't look at the jar again, because if you leave that jar open and the spoon is still in your hand, you could say goodbye to every drop of cookie butter in the jar because it's so good. So thank you for watching me eat and ramble on about butter and nut butter and seed butter. But the moment that you've all been waiting for is the announcement of my sweepstakes. So I'm hosting a giveaway in celebration of my 10 subscribers, which is not a lot in comparison to some of the bigger names on YouTube, but it's a big deal to me that 10 people said, hey, your face, I can tolerate seeing it for a few minutes. And that really means a lot to me, that there are people out there who actually care about what I've got to say and show you about fitness and nutrition. So thank you. And I thought it'd be fun to celebrate my subscribers by having a little giveaway every time a 0 gets added to my subscribers. So I'm doing a giveaway for 10 subscribers, a giveaway for 100 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 10,000. If I ever get that high, I'll probably even have giveaways more often because I just love giving away stuff. So here's how you can win the sweepstakes. All you have to do is follow the link in the description box, and it'll take you to a Gleam where all you have to do is enter your name and email address. I'm not using your email address for anything. I'm not submitting it to anyone. I'm not going to spam your inbox. You're not signing up for a mailing list by entering your email address. All I need your email address is if you're the winner, then I'm going to contact you via email to figure out how to get your prize to you. And then the second thing that you're going to be asked for is whether you're a subscriber or not. So this is open to my subscribers. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button down there. And if you hit the little bell, you'll also get a notification every time I post, which at this time I'm posting once a month, the first Wednesday of every month. So I'm not out here to bombard you with notifications, just once a month, and that's it. So make sure you subscribe to my channel And then the final thing that you're going to be asked for is just to answer a yes or no question, and I will use the poll results in a future video. What can you win? Well, I have a grab bag full of prizes, and they're not even necessarily fitness related. They're just things that I've accumulated over time, that I've either bought or have been given. So I just have a grab bag full of prizes, and the winner will get a list of everything that I have available, and they will get to choose a thing from their list, from my list, and I will just send it to them. You want to know what's on the list? Sorry, you have to win. So, thank you for watching my video. Thank you for subscribing to my video. I would love for you to like, or comment, or share, or subscribe, or all of the above. Please make sure that you get involved with my sweepstakes, and I'll see you next time.